So, what inspired you to become a veterinarian?
When I was in high school, I actually lived overseas in Kenya and saw how people interacting with their livestock type animals relied so heavily for a day to day food and transportation that I became interested in both animals and veterinary medicine. But over time, I realized that my true interest was in small animal and not large animal, so I became a small animal practitioner.
What is the history of your practice?
So this practice has actually been around since 1946. Now I know I look old, but I have not been the veterinarian that whole time. We were formerly located on north or further north on Main Street, and we moved into this building in 2015. I purchased the practice in 2011, and so I've been the owner for 7 years, and we've been in this building for 3 years.
What would you say is unique about your practice?
Actually, we're fairly unique in that we actually do exotic animals as well. Animals like chinchillas and rabbits and ferrets, also snakes and turtles, tortoises, other reptiles. And so there's not very many clinics that do that. And we have people that travel here from Lima, Piqua, Wapakoneta, all over the place for exotics.
What types of animals do you serve?
There we go. We just talked about the exotics, but we also do dogs and cats. We do some bird work as well, although not as many birds as the other types of exotics. We've got a great bird specialist up in Toledo, so we send a lot of the bird work there. But basically, any small animal, including the small exotics.
Is there anything pet owners should be doing specifically for this time of year?
So we have a lot of people that their dogs stay outdoors at least part of the time, and there are some dogs that is okay for that to happen. But one of the issues we have is that their water can freeze, and if their water freezes, then they don't have anything to drink, and so it takes a lot of energy for a dog to be able to live outside, and so they need a food source that's not frozen as well as a water source that's not frozen. Um, if it's really super cold outside, the dogs get cold, so they need to come in. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there are certain types of allergies that are actually worse in the wintertime. So sometimes we can actually see a worsening of allergies this time of year. And at the end of fall, beginning of winter, we actually see a big upswing in fleas. And so we've been seeing a lot of fleas in the last month, 6 weeks. So
How important is a good nutrition program for a pet?
extremely important. So, nutrition is a way, in fact, the way that an owner can impact their pet's health on a daily basis by having a good, high quality diet that is calorie controlled so that the animals don't become overweight is of utmost importance for their health. And there are a myriad of different diets out there these days. Um, the they're not all equal, but what I tell people is you want to choose a diet that is high quality from a reputable company that fits into your budget. So, but nutrition is extremely important for pet health. So, and just briefly, when we talk about exotics, it's completely different, right? Dogs and cats, you go to the store and you get dog and cat food. But exotics, every single individual species has a different nutritional requirement. So you really need to know your pet to be able to know what they need to eat.
How much a part of your practice is educating pet owners?
I would say it's probably at least half of what we do. So, a large portion of our time is spent in the exam room talking to owners. Um, we do our physical exams and we find issues with the pet, and we then educate the owners on those issues and what can be done about them, as well as how to keep pets healthy over their entire lives. So at least half, probably even more than half of what we do is education of owners.
What do you find most rewarding about being a veterinarian?
So, first of all, I love animals. I know that's kind of cliche. That's kind of what every veterinarian would say. But I also love people as well. I don't want to do anything with people from a medical standpoint, but the relationships that we develop with our clients so that we can then help their pets live healthier lives, that interaction between the owner, the pet, and myself is probably the most rewarding part of my job.
What job or career opportunities are available with a veterinarian hospital?
So, almost as many things as you can imagine. So, in a small animal clinic like we have here, we have everyone from receptionists to registered technicians. In fact, Ohio is going to be changing the name to veterinary nurse pretty soon, hopefully. But we also have a practice manager who runs the business. We have the doctors that do the medicine, and then we have a bookkeeper on staff to pay all the bills and make sure that all the finances are straight. But in veterinary medicine as a whole, you also have other species, so large animal species that there are veterinarians for. A lot of people are in education, like at the University of Findlay. There are veterinarians that really don't practice medicine anymore, but they teach students who are trying to get into veterinary school. The entire food quality industry is run by veterinarians. In fact, one of the doctors that we have here, Dr. Chu, her husband works for the USDA. He's a regional, I don't know what his exact title is, but he is over a lot of the food quality in Northwest Ohio. So there's government jobs, there's military jobs. I mean, there's just a huge variety of things that you can do either as a veterinarian or within the animal fields.
If people would like to stay up to date on your practice, how can they do?
So we use Facebook a lot. So you can always friend us on Facebook. And we have a website, and people can always call, make an appointment with their pet, or just make an appointment to come in and meet us. We enjoy talking with people.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
This is Talia Tig reporting live for the Findlay Digital Media Club.